Gamecock Baseball wrapping up their fall workouts here as the Gamecock Series is going on, a best-of-3 affair that'll bring to an end the team practices for Jacksonville State. Jim Case, throughout the fall, you've had some individual workouts for roughly a month now, team practices. Are you happy with where your guys are now compared to where you were when you started the workouts?
Yeah, compared to where we started, I think we're making progress. I think every day we're making progress, and we got a lot of young guys, and we've talked about that before, but there's some excitement that comes with that, and I think that our effort has been really, really good, and I think we've come together a little bit better as a team. We're certainly not ready to start our season yet, but there's a little bit of time, but we're happy with the way things have gone.
Have guys won jobs, at least for right now, hitting when you start practice then and for the spring when you return in January after the Christmas break?
Again, I think we're closer. I don't know that jobs have been won. There's some jobs that are pretty secure, and guys who are coming back who have played well for us in the past and probably have a head up on some of the younger guys. But there's some positions that are wide open. How we're going to hit, what order we're going to use is a little bit wide open. But again, I think that every day that goes by, we're closer to kind of getting a feel for our team.
With the losses on your pitching staff, with the guys coming in, have you pretty much settled, you think, on what you want to do with your staff?
I think it's going to be a little bit different staff than a year ago, where a year ago we had 3 guys who basically took us deep into games almost every game of the weekend. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a staff effort. I think that you're going to see our 8, 9, and 10 pitchers on our staff get more innings than they did a year ago, and I think that we're going to be looking for ways to mix and match to really try to negate what the offense is trying to do, rather than putting a guy out there and saying, give us 7 innings.
Have you settled on a closer, or is that a job that's still open at this time? I
think it's open. I think that it's a little bit more closed than it was. I think that Travis Stout has kind of stuck his head up and as the front runner for that job, and it's something that he very much wants to do from a mentality. I think he can handle that, and so we're going to use about the next month to try to really prepare for that. We've ran his innings up a little bit so far in the fall. Now we're going to start cutting down how much he goes on a single day, but trying to throw him back-to-back days in practice.
Gamecock Series, a best-of-3 affair. I guess the guys are having fun with that right now, aren't they?
They do. Any time that you compete, I think it's a good thing. And this just adds a little level of competition. Of course, the bragging rights are a big thing. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if they had a dinner or something, that they're playing for within themselves. But it is a lot of fun. And to be in separate dugouts, to have different color uniforms, and even though, of course, you're always pulling for the guys because you're your teammate. But for right now, in the next 3 days, it's game on.
All right, your last day of team practice is Friday, but you still have individual workouts between then and the break at Christmas. What do you try to do? What's your goal there in those individual workouts?
Well, and I think the key thing is individual. I think we try to look at each individual and how can we help them get better, and in turn, how is that going to help our team? And this is a really important time. Of course, the team portion of the fall is big, but what's coming up may be just as big, if not bigger, because I think now we have a better idea of what guys need to do to be able to help us, and now as coaches we have a fun time of trying to help them reach those goals.
And you give them during the break some things to work on and some things to do, correct?
Yeah, basically what we do is send them home with a calendar that says, on these days we want you to lift, on these days we want you to run, throw. Of course, our hitters, we want them to continue hitting. We also want them to take a little bit of time off, to just have some time for their bodies to recoup, and so it's an important time, but it's also kind of a good time, I think, for us. It's like that pre-spring training. Right. That's kind of the mode that we'll be in.
Well, here we are near the end of October, but January will be here, and then middle of February and end of February to get it going. It won't be long, will it?
It goes fast. It goes fast, and it's one of the great things about being in college athletics is how it just seems to flow from year to year, but it'll be here before we know it. And once it gets here, it's like a runaway roller coaster sometimes, but it's also a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it.
Jacksonville State baseball coach Jim Case, his guys getting ready for the 2013 baseball season.